Okay, so we are live now. So guys, please let us know if you are able to hear us, and if you're able to see us, that means we are audible and visible to all of you, and then we can start with the sessions, right? Okay, so you can also see the chats, and now we are live, so you will be able to see in your mobile, so that link.
Yeah.
Okay, so just see. I don't know, my mobile is not responding. Okay, so we are basically live. Okay guys, so please let us know if you are able to see us, if we are audible and visible. Yeah, so we are live, and few students have already joined us, so please let us know. So today we are going to have the class on Cognizant technical assessment. So we have Mehak ma'am with us today. So please comment below that if we are audible and visible to you guys, and then we can start with the session. Okay, so Mark, can you please start so that I can confirm if you're audible and visible?
Um, Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Just a minute.
Uh, okay.
Yes, yes, you are audible. Okay, so you can start the session. I'm handing over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prateek. Let me share my screen. Hello everyone. Let me know in the comment section if you are able to see my screen. Okay. So, hi all, I am Mehak Goyal, your facilitator today. So, I have 2 years of software engineering experience at a top bank based in Bengaluru. I specialize in Java data structures, Kubernetes, Spring, and SQL. So, let's don our coding hats today and delve into the realm of coding together. Let me know whenever you are stuck somewhere or you have any doubts. Please feel free to tell me in the comment section. So today's agenda is that we will discuss about the cognizant pattern. Like many of you are must not be aware that what is exactly the pattern. So we will be discussing a brief about that, and then we will cover some questions based on arrays and strings. So So, for cognizant assessment prerequisites, what are those? You might not be aware that they have these rounds, like many of you might have registered. Uh, so, uh, First, the process is registration, and then we have screening, and then the round one is communication assessment, and then we have aptitude assessment and technical assessment. Then you will, if you have cleared all these assessments, online assessments, then you will be proceeding towards the technical interview. So good luck for that, and I hope I will be able to help you guys in the process. So there are two clusters in the technical assessment, which I will be guiding you or helping you with it. Cluster one is which includes Java programming, database, SQL using MySQL, and then coding web UI. And there is cluster two. So you have options. You can either choose tech cluster one or tech cluster two. Uh, I'm proficient in Java, so I will be helping you out in data structures in Java. And there is a myth that there are only MCQs asked. That is not, unfortunately. You will also be asked some data structures, and that we will be covering in today's session. So let me know in the comment section your like how familiar are you with data structures like strings or arrays? Like if you're a beginner, intermediate. Guys, let me know. So Swaraj is saying that, sir, will there be coding in Cognizant? Yes, there will be coding, but I think you will be expected some basic questions only, like easy to medium level. Yes, Saravanan, I will definitely clear your doubts. Uh, Somebody asked that, are there non-technical background students post in Cognizant? I don't think so that if your branch matters. So if you are proficient in data structures, if you are skilled in this, then absolutely you can give it a shot. And I'm sure you can excel. Even I am also from non-technical background, but I'm working as a software engineer in leading bank. Okay, so most of you are beginner level only. So we will start with the first question, that is from strings, that is anagram. So how many of you know what is an anagram? The very basic question of strings that will cover most of the concepts. Uh, just let me know with yes or a no if you know anagram. What is anagram? Am I audible, guys? Yes, Saurav is saying that DSA done in C++ now. Okay, if you have done DSA in C++, I think it will be a good opportunity to revise at least the logics. For example, if I'm covering this question today, then you can practice it in on your system in C++, but at least you will be revising the logic, because logic remains the same in whether, no matter what the programming language you are working on, right? Okay, so I'm not able to see if somebody has posted that whether they know anagram or not, but let's start. So this is a very important question with respect to strings. Basically, an anagram is that if you have two strings, A and B, for example, let's take my name Mehak. So if Mehak is a string and there is another string, say if I rotate the letters and do it like jumble it and do it like Mehem. So both these, they have the same characters, right? Mehak. So these two are anagrams of each other. Two strings are said to be anagram of each other if they have the same characters. So while I'm saying that if they have the same characters, what comes to your mind? Like what conditions, what logic comes to your mind if we want to check if two strings are same or not? Let me know in the comment section anything which comes to your mind at first, like how we can check that two strings are same or not. Guys, I am giving this time to you so that you can also brainstorm. I will take 5 minutes to write the code, but it will not do any justice to you because you are not putting your brain to work, right? My motive is that your brain should also work. You should think of the logic first before seeing the answer on the screen. So these two are anagrams of each other. When I was doing this question for the first time, the first thing came to my mind that if two strings are not of the same length, then automatically they are not anagrams, right? For example, if it is just Kahe and one is Mehak, then obviously they cannot be anagrams of each other because their length is not only matching. So this is our base condition that if the lengths of the strings are not matching, then we have to return false. This is one logic. One logic regarding lengths not equal, then we have to return false. Okay, this is just a rough draft. Before solving any question, you should just think what should be the logic and just write it down in a roughly manner and then proceed to writing the code in the high-tech fashion, right? So next thing we have to check like which data structure can we use to check if two strings are anagrams or not. First of all, we will check with the basic data structures arrays. Can we use arrays to see if two strings are anagram or not? course. So if we want to convert string to an array, what do we have to do? We have to use character array, right? So second step would be this. The first step was base condition. Second step is converting strings to arrays, character arrays, right? So now in strings, we can also use, think of other data structures, what you can use. We can use a hash map. In hash map, what if I use a hash set? In hash set, if I put all the characters, like I put G, I put E, but I can't put the other E because hash set it can't contain duplicates, right? So hash set is not of any use in this data structure. If I take hash map, like if I put G and if I put the frequency, like how many times G is appearing, like 1 and then 2. So G will be the key and value will be the frequency. So 1, G comma 2. And similarly, if I put the string B also in another hash map, and then if I compare that, if map 1 equals map 2, both the maps are equal, means both have same keys, both have same values, means we have the two strings are anagrams, right? So this is a simple solution which we can do using hash map. But why to increase the complexity? Like for two strings, we have to create two hash maps that will increase the space complexity, right? So let us try to solve this question using the basic data structure, that is arrays. So first, second step is that if there are two strings and we need to convert them to array, that will be our second step. Then somebody saying something. Just a second, guys. I'm not able to see your comments. Okay. So our second step should be that as we are iterating towards this string, towards this array, so we can take one count array. Like there are 256 style characters in Java, it's lowercase and uppercase, and there are some other characters in Java, right? So we can take count arrays, and in count array, we can initialize the size as 256. Why 256? Because that is the number of style characters in Java. So all the characters, whether there are any character in the string, that will be covered in this 256. So if I initialize two count arrays, one for string 1 and one for string 2, in that count array, so if I have lowercase a to z, uppercase a to z, Unicode value of character small a is? Can somebody tell me in the comment section? No worries if you don't know, we will cover it. Okay, so for small a it is 97. And similarly, if we initialize count 2 for string 2, then we can put all the characters which are there in string 2 in that count array. So whenever, for example, whenever an a is coming in a string, then the corresponding value, that is 97th index of that count 1, we can increment it. Like we can initialize the count arrays as 000. So 000 256 times. Whenever we are hitting any character, like for example in this example, geeks for geeks, whenever we are hitting G, so the index corresponding to this G, that is the Unicode value against this G, that we can increment it as 1. Similarly, for string 2, we have initialized array as 000, and then we can increment if we are encounter f, we can increment that f index. And if you see that if the incremented values are all same at all index, that means both are anagrams, right? So have you understood the logic? Sarah Banani is saying that same characters. One string is rearranged to other string. Okay. Okay, guys, I think you are with me. We are on the same page. So Raj is saying that check string A from the first character and string B from the last character. Uh, we can do that, but I think that will just increase the complexity only, because we have to check anagram. We are not, I think you are getting confused between anagram and palindrome. In palindrome, it makes sense to check from the last character. We want to see that if the first and the last character are same or not as we are moving towards the middle, right? But it is anagram. We just have to check whether the characters are same or not. So why to increase the complexity? But yeah, your second option that we can produce a hash map that I have already discussed, we can definitely do that. So let's write down the code. As I'm writing it down, I will also be covering a few basic concepts of strings that might be asked you in MCQs. Okay. So first of all, we have to convert string character array. That was the first step, right? So character array type should be char. And if it was in array, then it should be int, right? So I am just covering these so that you can brush up your basics also. So we are given two strings. What input is given? First of all, read the question carefully. We are given two strings A and B, and they consist of lowercase characters only. Task is to check whether two given strings are anagram of each other or not. As I already told, what is an anagram? So for example, act and tact, they are anagram of each other. Like I told you, Mehak and Kahim, they are anagrams of each other, right? So we have to return true or else we have to return false. True and false are values of which data type? Boolean. That's why here the method return type is Boolean, right? And the inputs we are taking as parameters, that are string A and string B. Now, first step was that we are using the basic data structure arrays. So we will convert this to character array. So there is one method in string, inbuilt method in string. If you are doing it on IDE, on IntelliJ or some other IDE, you will see that as soon as you put dot here, you will see inbuilt methods of string, right? So one of the inbuilt method of string is to char array. We can directly convert a string to character array, right? In the same fashion, we will convert string to also. This thing is very important in strings concept that we then convert it into character array. And the second step was we initialized count array. Count array because we are using the count in integer value, so that we are creating int array, right? So we are doing int array count1 for string 1, new int we are using as 256. Okay. And second is for string 2, I have one question for you guys just to check your basics. If I don't specify 256 here, then what will happen? I can show you in IntelliJ what will happen. Just a second. Like here I am creating a new array. Int A equal to new. Right? See, this is giving me an error. Why? Because we can declare one array. See, we can declare one array, there is no problem in that. But whenever we are initializing an array, it is mandatory to specify the size of the array. See, now the compile time error is gone. So it is mandatory if whenever we are initializing an array, you need to specify the size of the array. This is one method to create an array. Another method is, I am just covering these basics also. So another will be like 1, 2, 3. In this way, you can initialize one array. Okay. So it is mandatory to specify the size of the array if you are creating it using the new keyword, or otherwise you can directly give the value in curly braces. Coming back to the question, so we have initialized two count arrays to count the characters in each string, right? So next we have to increment the count array. So we are using a for loop and we will initializing a variable y equal to 0. Then we have what condition I have to put. I have to check if this length I is less than. Now we are not sure whether string A is smaller than string B or string B is smaller than string A. So we have to check like whatever smaller is between both of them, we have to iterate till that length only, right? So I will put the condition here as A dot length and I is less than B dot length. Okay, this is the condition, and then we are incrementing the I operator. So for loop has 3 sections. One is initialization, second is conditional check, and third is increment or decrement section. Now, this you see that length function here in case of strings, I am using as length method. So there is a difference between, I'm just covering the basics also, guys. So length, what is the difference between length and length? In arrays, we use just length, and in strings, we use length method. So length method is inbuilt method of the string class, and length, this is the inbuilt variable of the array class. Okay. So here, because I am using string A and B, then I am using A dot length. If I am using character, I can also use character str1 dot, then I have to use this length. So here I have initialized the for loop. Now what I have to do is that I have to increment count whenever I am getting like string 1. For this for loop, in this character array, I am fetching I. For example, when I equal to 0, see in this string, geeks for geeks, I have converted to character array. It will become G, comma E, comma E, comma K. Let's take just geek, okay? And then other, well, I'll take that my name example only. Like MH. Okay. And another one is I have K, A, H, E, M. Right? So this is the character array. When I equal to 0 in first character array, that is string 1 character array, this is string 2 character array. When I is 0, I am fetching the character as M. So here, this thing will become M. Count 1, that is for the string 1 count array. Earlier the value was 0. You know that in default integer value in Java is 0. Otherwise, to make the code clear, there is no need of this. But to make the code clear for others, like if you don't know what is the default value of integer in Java, then it might be confusing that what is the initial value. So we can do this. This will put all the values of the array initializing it to 0. By default also it is 0, but to make the code more readable, we can do this thing. Okay. So here I'm incrementing this count. So whenever while traversing through this character array, whenever I am finding M, I am incrementing it from 0 to 1. Whenever I am getting E, I am incrementing to 0 to 1. So A, like for example, Unicode value of A is 97, small a is 97. So um, array of 97, like this thing, is, I'll say that count one of, this will become, so now you say that now you might be having one question that this str1 of I, it is A, right? So count one of A, how it is possible? Because count one is of integer type, right? Can anybody tell like what is happening internally, or if I am doing something wrong? I would like to know. What do you think? What is happening here? Guys, let me know in the comment section. So here we have what is happening is that it is doing implicit typecasting. So character internally it is getting converted to its Unicode value. So it will automatically convert it to 97 internally. And count one of 97th index, that will be converted from 0 to 1. Right? So if I have A in the string 2 character array also, then its count will also be incremented to 1. So in the end, we have to see if all the counts are same or not. If they are same, means two strings are anagram of each other. If they are not, means they are not anagram of each other. Right? This is the simple logic. So next we have to do count 2 also. We have to increment it. Right? So this is the basic for loop which we have written. Now I have to see, I have to traverse through the count loop, count array. That is, the count is same or not, we have to check that. So count array has total size as 256. So we have to traverse the 255th index, right? I plus plus, and then we have to see if count 1 not equals to count 2 of I, then what we have to do, they are not equal. For example, in count 1 of 97, that is A is appearing 2 times. But in second array, A is incremented to just 1 only. Means it is not anagram, right? So if the count values are not equal, means they are not anagram of each other, and we will return false. Otherwise, we will return true. Now, I have missed something here. Can you tell me? What did I miss? I have missed one base condition which I discussed initially. What was the base condition? Base condition was that if the two strings are not even of equal length, then why are we doing all this thing, right? So if string 1, so here I have used character array, right? So length, we will not be using length method of the string, right? We will be using length of the arrays. If it is not equal to str.to length, then we will return false. Now you might be wondering why I have not added curly braces here with the if block. If there is only just one statement, then curly braces are optional, right? And that statement should not be a declarative statement. Declarative statement is like, for example, if after this, with this I am adding just int x equal to 3. This, because where it is then x used, right? So it should not be declarative statement, but curly braces are optional if we have only one statement. If we have any other statement after this, then it will not be executed. With if block only, the first statement will be executed if we don't have curly braces. So this is the basic code of anagrams, and I have covered a few concepts here, like how to convert string to array, and this arrays.fill method, which is optional just to make the code more readable, because uh, somebody might not know what is the default value of integer in Java. And we have also discussed the difference between length of array and inbuilt length method of string. So let me run this. Now the output is yes. Okay. Any questions, guys? I will wait for your comments. If you have any questions in this, let me know. Actually, I'm not able to load your comments. Do you have any questions, or shall I proceed with the next question for today? Okay, I don't see any comments from anyone. Do we need to write full code or need to write a function only? It depends upon the examiner whether you have to write just the function or you have to write the main method also. Most of the times you don't have to write the main method, but it is very simple only writing a main method. What you have to do is, I can write it for you. So public static void main, that is the basic syntax of the main method. What you have to do is you have to take what are the inputs? Two strings, right? So take input as two strings, any strings. Specify the data type, string A comma string B. And then just call this method which you have written. Okay. So is anagram, this method, you need to print this method because we are returning a value here. So that value will be printed. Is anagram and pass these two strings. So these names can be different also here. Like if I take S1 and S2, don't get it confused that you have to take A, B here also and here also. So it can be S1 and S2 because these are local variables. Okay. I hope your doubt is cleared, Raja Subramanian. Let me know if you have any other doubt. Okay, so I am assuming there are no further doubts, and let us proceed towards the next question. So the next question which I am covering in today's session is that Kadane's algorithm. It is a very important concept with respect to arrays. So we are given an array of n integers. First read the problem statement. We are given an array of n integers. Find the contiguous subarray containing at least one number which has the maximum sum and return its sum. So what is subarray? First of all, let me know if anyone knows what is subarray, or let me know in the comment section. Just type in a yes if you know what is a subarray. Let me know, guys, otherwise I will just proceed on the basis of my assumption. But it would be better if you let me know so that I can also know and help you in the maximum way possible. Okay, so I will cover what is subarray. You must have heard subarray, subsequence, substring. So what is this? Subarray is that if the elements are contiguous. For example, in this array, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is a subarray because the elements are adjacent to each other. What if 1, 3 and minus 2? This is not a subarray because there is a break between these elements. These are not adjacent to each other. That is a sequence, subsequence. But this is a subarray 1, 2, 3, minus 2, comma 5. It is another subarray. So we need to find one such subarray which uh, which leads to the maximum sum. For example, in this array. Now you have uh, read the problem statement. You know what is given to you. You are given one array. You just have to find, you have to return the maximum sum. Maximum sum will be some integer. So we are taking the data type as long, return type as long here, because it can be a large number also. What if you have large values in this array? Then it can be a long number. So we are taking the long return type. Otherwise, we can take int also here. So now you have to see what all values you should take to solve the problem. First, think about the logic. So if I am traversing this array, what I am doing is that I need to find the sum, right? So sum first, when I is 0, sum will be 1, right? I will take it some current sum, like as we are traversing, what will be the sum? First it will be 1. Then I'm adding 2 to it. So 1 plus 2, 3. Then 3 plus 3, 6. Then 6 minus 2, 4. Then 4 plus 5, 9. So this is the subarray. What will be the maximum sum subarray? That will be 9, right? So you see, explanation is maximum subarray sum is 9. Let us cover some other case now. Another test case will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Okay. Now here, current sum, let us take as minus 1. Then we are adding minus 1 plus minus 2 will be minus 3. Then minus 3 plus minus 3, minus 6. Then minus 6 plus minus 4 will be minus 10. So greatest is minus 1. That will be the maximum sum. Now the question is that we are proceeding in such a manner, like we are taking current sum, right? But we need to find the maximum sum. So if I am taking one variable, will it suffice? Like minus 1, it is gone because now the current sum becomes minus 2. We are not storing minus 1 anywhere. Right? So here the maximum sum was minus 1. We are not storing it anywhere. So we have to take another variable where we can store the previous sum so that we can compare it with the current sum. So the previous current sum that we calculated, we can store it in another variable, say max sum, and then we can update the current sum as we are traversing through the array. Now I will give you one more test case. Say here we have minus 1 comma 4. Now your current sum will become minus 1. Then 4 minus 1, 3. 3 minus 3, 0. 3 minus 4, minus 1. Right? Now the maximum sum will be 3. But is it right? If we are doing if we are taking the subarray minus 1 comma 4, the maximum sum will be 3. But what if I just take only 4 as the subarray? Subarray can be one element also. Then the maximum sum should be 4, right? But according to our logic right now, it is giving us as 3. So it is clear that we need to modify our logic, right? So in current sum, when we are doing current sum plus this element, say it's num, okay, this we are proceeding towards, or we can take it as the array of I, right? That will be more clear to you. If we are doing this, then the sum will become here D, right? But I need to update it as 4 only, because that will be the maximum sum, not 3, if I just take 4 as a subarray. So I will take maximum of these two values, right? If I take maximum of these two values and put it in the current sum, then our values, it will compare whether 3 is greater than or less than 4. If it is less than 4, then it will update as 4 as the current sum. And maximum sum, we have to see the max between the current sum that we are calculating and the previous current sum that we have calculated. We are storing it somewhere, right? So we are doing it here. So this is the basic logic of this problem. Now let us proceed with writing this. What we did took, first we took one current sum variable, right? See guys, I have taken camel case pattern here, which is a good practice to follow. If you are taking as this current sum, then it is not a good practice according to Java standards. Camel case pattern is that, for example, if you have to do like find sum, the interviewer will clearly see that you don't know the basics of Java, because the basic is that whenever you are writing any identifier, it should be in camel case pattern. That is, the initialization of the second part in the variable, second word in the variable, it should be capitalized, right? This is one basic Java tip for you guys, that make sure you write the code in the camel case pattern. So current sum, now we have to return in long here, right? So we will take as long only. So long current sum. We can initialize it as array of 0. First element we can take it as current sum. But I have seen that the return type is long, so I have taken long here. But the type of the array is int. So let us see what will happen. Then let us see. Let us proceed in this way only right now. Then we can see by what is happening internally. Is it some type casting or what is it? Even if we get an error, you will get to see that what kind of error we are getting. Okay. So next we took one another variable maxsum, that we also initialize as first element only, that is array of 0. Next what we did, we update the current sum and the maxsum. So as we are traversing through the loop, now here I have taken the condition as int I equal to 0. It is right or wrong, because already I have assigned the first element to these variables. We have to compare it with the rest of the elements, right? So we will take it from I equals to 1. Then I less than array of length I plus plus. Now I am updating current sum to maximum of this thing which we have written here. It's always a good thing to write the rough logic first, and then you can write the code. It will put your brain to thinking. Math.max of current sum and maximum. Right? Now what do we have to return here? We have to return current sum or maximum. It is saying here that you have to return, you have to find the subarray which has a maximum sum, and return that sum. So we have to return the maximum sum. Okay, so we will return here max sum. So let me run this code and see what is happening. Guys, let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. I'm not able to see any comments here. This is some other error. Sorry, that camel case pattern which I told you. See, we are not getting any error here between long and int. Why? Because we are converting int, it is internally typecasting it to long. Because int has lesser number of bytes than long, right? So this type of conversion is possible. That is why we didn't get any error here. Guys, let me know if you have any doubts in this question, or if you have any other doubts from the concept of Java. Just let me know. Also, guys, while doing such type of questions, it was mentioned in the Cognizant pattern, one topic was mentioned, exception handling, right? So whenever we are doing these kind of questions, like which includes arrays, whenever we are doing this for loop, make sure that you are doing the right, you are putting the right conditions in the second step of the for loop, that is a conditional check. What if I do here, I less than or equal to array dot length? Let me compile this. Before me compiling it, let me know what do you think. Will we get any error here, or will it work fine? I can't see any comments, guys. Let's try to make it as much interactive as possible so that I can help you in as much as I can. If this is the great opportunity to ask any doubts if you have regarding this program or regarding any test case. Is there any particular test case in your mind? You can ask me. I'll wait for a few minutes. Okay, so no comments as of now. Okay, so I'll run this and let's see what happens. I'll say that we will get a compile time error, but I'll say that we will get some error. Let's see what it will be. So when I am doing it, yes, you can be asked questions like what kind of exceptions have you, are there any kind of exceptions that have occurred to you while solving the problem or not? So this is the kind of cases where exceptions do occur. So here I am getting one exception, array index out of bounds exception. Okay, so what is this exception? Like I equals to 1, we have an array. If we have a size of array, say 4, here the size of array is 4, right? We have 4 elements. So as we are traversing through the for loop, first I is 1, fine. Then I is incremented. I becomes 2, it will check the conditional check. 2 is less than or equal to 4, fine. Then again I will be incremented. I becomes 3, again it comes to the conditional check. It will check. Now 3 is less than or equal to 4, fine. Then again I plus plus. I will become 4. 4 is, now I becomes 4, right? 4 is less than or equal to 4, right? But in the body, when we are doing this array of 4, here array of 4, what will happen? We have no element present at the index 4, right? So here at this step, after passing through the conditional check, at this step, we will get array index out of bound exception. Okay, so this is one time exception we will which we get here. So I hope I was able to cover a few basics of Java with you guys through these two basic questions that we covered today from arrays and from strings data structure. Let me know your feedback in the comment section so that we can take more doubts from you in the next session. And I can't see any further comments from you guys, but do let me know if you have anything in your mind. And then we can wrap up the today's session. It was great connecting with you guys today, and I hope I was able to help you in some manner. And this is just a tip from me that please utilize these sessions as much as possible. I will try my best to help you out. And if you have any other questions that you want to discuss in the next sessions, you can also post that in the comment section. I will take care that we can pick up those questions as well in the coming sessions. Let me know if you have anything, and then we can wind up our today's session. Okay, so guys, do you have anything to say? Let me know. I'm checking the comments. Sarah said that before kickstart in DSA, any one basics of coding is enough. Okay, Sarah, we will take your feedback into account. If you have any particular topic which you want to cover uh, from the syllabus, then please let us know. We can do that. Also, I will try to cover Java basics as well through these questions. So don't worry about that. I'm still waiting if you have anything to say. If you have anything like apart from these two questions which we discussed today, anything related to your syllabus or something, you can please feel free to discuss. Like, don't hesitate. Okay, guys. So if you don't have anything, I'll see you in the next session. I hope I was able to help you today, and let's catch up in the next session. You can post any questions if you want to discuss in the next session. I will definitely take that up. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you all for joining.